started back when Nick first gave us this topic. He said, "What makes a good mystery?" And I was curious because he followed this up by saying this is a topic he's given many of us. And I, one of Nick's closest and dearest friends, had never been given this topic before. So I was at first hurt, but then interested. So I began by calling some of Nick's other closest and dearest friends and family as well. The topic is what makes a good mystery, and he followed it up by saying, "I ask this question a lot." Have you ever heard Nick ask you this question?
No, not that I recall.
When Nick gave us this topic of what makes a good mystery, he said, I've asked this question to a lot of people. Has he ever asked this to you?
He has, as an icebreaker at a gathering.
Needless to say, something seemed off. But I shrugged my shoulders and I said might as well appease the man. And I went about trying to keep it close to home and find something in and around Fairfield, maybe some local legend. And I found this article that came out exactly 2 days before he gave us the topic on May 16th. A teen boy becomes combative with officers in a elementary school parking lot in Fairfield. They didn't give the name of the boy, and I've always been taken aback by Nick's youthful appearance. But no, there's no way this could be anything to do with Nick. So I looked still further, and I found yet another article, just a day before he gave us this topic, talking about golf carts stolen and abandoned in a stream in the Fairfield golf course. This was getting weird. And then I remember what Caitlin said, Nick's dear sister.
I think so. He's not one of those, people who would, go on a long road trip, but I think he enjoys, driving around town or driving, to the Cape, for example.
Does Nick like to drive?
I would say no.
Does he currently have access to a car?
He does. His name is Creamy. It says old and falling apart, but I do think he loves Creamy.
Old and falling apart, okay. Run down. If I know Nick, he doesn't like things that are run down. So I kept looking. Exactly 2 days before the mystery presentation, this article came out on May 21st. Teen gives a fake name when asked about car break-ins. Could this be? It said that the boy was 16, but it also said that he had given them a fake date of birth. What was the truth? Would Nick ever lie or manipulate the truth to avoid something, to shape what the truth is?
Not that I'm aware of.
Try to change the story to better fit himself.
Are you just trying to get me to say that Nick is a dishonest person?
No, that's not what I'm not trying to say that. I'm asking you the question. Do you think what do you think Nick will lie? Is a liar?
Is this just to get back at him?
Why are you asking me questions? Do you think Nick would ever lie or manipulate to the truth to avoid things?
I think he is definitely capable of that, because I think he's very talented with people. He has very strong people skills, and he's able to manipulate others. Not even intentionally, but it's just a skill set he has. And quite frankly, I don't think he knows his own power.
The same boy was arrested April 24th after connections to a stolen car. April 24th, that was a day before we had the topic, what was your dream home? Stealing a car? Could it be Nick's dream? Looking it up, Fairfield is the 15th safest town of 169 in Connecticut. Number 3 in Connecticut is Greenwich, one of the safest places in all of Connecticut, nay, all of America. But then I found this article, just updated, 22 hours before the presentation. Greenwich is exactly 1 hour and 14 minutes from Nick's address, but only 27 minutes by walking. And then I remembered this text. Did Nick make us research mystery to somehow distract us from the fact that he was behind his own type of mystery? A mysterious band of car thieves who had been stealing cars and golf carts while everyone was inside from coronavirus? But I needed more proof. And then I remembered one of Nick's favorite games, Grand Theft Auto. Do you think Nick sometimes blurred the reality between video games and real life?
Yes. That's also something else I've noticed that's a bit upsetting for me. I remember a couple weeks after Matt and Nick got Red Dead Redemption 2, and I think Grand Theft Auto they played a lot. Nick was talking about, wanting to go on a joyride.
Oh, wow. It seemed that all of Connecticut had a giant upturn of car thieves, starting in March 31st with this article, around the same time that Nick moved back home to Connecticut. And the city with the greatest amount of Grand Theft Auto? Albuquerque, New Mexico. The city in which his roommate, Matt Russell, was born and raised. Have you ever noticed when Nick is with Matt, that they talk about secret things that maybe you don't, like, they kind of, like, shut up about things? Specifically, maybe when they're talking about, you hear things about cars or things like that. Has there any been some strange secret conversations between Matt and Nick?
That's really interesting you ask that, actually. I feel like on a couple of occasions I can remember coming over to Nick and Matt's apartment, and I could hear the entire walk up the staircase talking about something. I swear I heard, like a car, steering wheel, something like that. And as soon as I knock on the door, they shush each other.
Do you think Matt and Nick, together or separate, are planning a Grand Theft Auto type situation in Brooklyn, or in Bushwick?
Well, if there was ever a place to plan a Grand Theft Auto, Bushwick would be the place to do it.
On that fateful day, I had a breakdown. I couldn't deliver my presentation. And it wasn't because I wasn't prepared. That was the lie that I had conjured up just to hide the fact, to make sure that Nick wasn't on to me. But it was because of this article I found. Long Island man nabbed for numerous car thefts. The man was Michael Daddario of New Hyde Park. And New Hyde Park was exactly 1 hour and 4 minutes away from where Nick lived. And again, I had the texts. He was now coming into Long Island, getting closer to me. He knew. I could tell. But as the week progressed from the 23rd to today, the world changed. Riots were happening all over the country, all to end the police brutality that had become the unfortunate norm. Acts that on its surface may appear as violent were actually cries for change to a brutally prejudiced system. To be honest, it made me hate being an American and assuming this role of a private eye, glorified in movies, but in reality working for a system that was broken. I stopped thinking about if Nick was involved. The evidence was too clear that he was. But why was he doing this in the first place? Was there something he wanted to say? Was he calling for help? And then Matt replied. Were you and Nick planning a Grand Theft Auto type situation in Bushwick at any point in the recent past or near future?
For legal reasons, I can't answer that.
Can you, if this was theoretically going to happen, do you know why it would happen? Why you would do it, rather?
Why we would do it? Because that's where the money is.
I had all I needed to call the cops. But after the Minneapolis riots, the world didn't seem as black and white anymore. Maybe Matt was lying. Maybe the kid who was arrested in Fairfield was 16. Maybe I was just hurt because Nick never asked me what made a great mystery. Because that means he wasn't kidding when he said he didn't trust me during the first round of presentations, and I'm still in great pains over that. I had my answer. But what was the point?
Terry, what is it?
The stuff that dreams are made of.
Huh?